Hi, welcome to the Way Out Tarot. The intention that I set before every reading, what I ask for, what I pray for, Virgo, are messages that you need to hear whenever you come across this video. I would like to thank all of you for all of your likes, your comments, and your donations. I appreciate you. As you watch this video, I encourage you to use your intuition and your knowledge of your own experience to interpret the messages that come through. The paths that you all walk are not identical, but I believe that all of you watching and myself, that we have a shared interest in gaining insight into what's happening now in your life, what is happening to you, in an effort to better understand yourselves and myself. This is a shared journey that we're on. And we do this, the reason we do this is to, if we can understand, if we can see, we can affect change in our lives, whatever you'd like that change to be. So, that being said, let's get started, shall we? So the overall energy for you, we have the 8 of Cups. Try as you might to hide it. Try as you might to procrastinate, to postpone it. Try as you might to try to find the good in a situation. Try to find reasons for staying. Maybe it's a sense of duty. Maybe it's comfortable. Whatever it is, try as you might to do all of that. You can't shake the feeling that you must go in some facet of your life. Now, goodbyes don't always have to be sad. They don't always have to be painful. You can choose to look on this departure with gratitude for what you had the privilege to experience while it was in your life, and you can look towards your future with hope and take refuge in the promise of a better day. You are so loyal. You are so loyal, and I would say that a lot of times you don't really want to leave unless you are pushed to, unless things have reached the boiling point. It's gotten to a point where staying would come at the expense of your health. It would come at the expense of your sanity. So this is a step that you are doing. This is a step that you're taking, rather, wherever this is in your life, whatever you are choosing, actively choosing to leave behind. It's one that I think that there's a solid understanding here that something must change. And if the situation is one that is never going to change, the choice is clear. Now, just because the choice is clear doesn't mean that it's an easy one. Indeed, you can be grateful, but still be sad. And I don't think that that is it's more so it has to happen. Nine of Cups. Look what you're moving towards. Look what you're moving on to. And I think that that's just so perfect because you're moving on from the 8 to the 9, right? It's like you're leaving some things behind, but it's not looking like it's anything that you'll miss. It's not looking like it's that you won't find happiness again. It's not looking like you won't be able to find peace. Back to basics. Bare bones. So yes, it's about the bare necessities. And you know what that means is going to vary from person to person because it depends on what you need. It depends on okay. So there's something here that you're choosing to walk away from, Virgo, because it's you're doing it for the sake of your happiness. You're doing it for the sake of your happiness because but it's not just happiness. I get that it's because it's the right thing to do. Setting these boundaries are the right thing to do. What you had, you know, it was good while you had it. But it's in order for you to thrive in this new season of your life, you must loosen your grip on that thing that you have been working on. And you must be open to new projects. You must be open to new ventures, to new prospects. So it's been a full 24 hours since I started this reading. And we're gonna go ahead and continue. I'll try to make this transition as seamless as possible. I don't feel like I am gassing you up too much by telling you that it's never you, is it? It's almost always them. It's almost always them. And because you approach situations with this humility and willingness to contribute, willingness to act accordingly. This is why when a Virgo is finished, I say this all the time, this is why when a Virgo is finished, it is almost always justified. There's a water sign, or perhaps an air sign, could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Gemini. It doesn't have to be. Anyone can be insecure. But it's important for you to, strong Cancer here, it's important for you to remember that, it's important for you to remember your version of the story, Virgo. And it's important for you to remember your experience. And I think that that has a tendency to make any kind of transition, whatever you want that transition to look like, if it's you deciding to go, you deciding to leave, it takes some of the pain out of it. It takes some of the guilt out of it, if that's what you're feeling for whatever reason. It's just crazy the things that people will say to just so they can sleep at night, just so they can feel better about themselves. You know right from wrong. And you know when you've been wronged, and you know when that line has been crossed. I think you know the many different disguises that insecurity can wear. You know all too well at this point, I would hope, what a projection looks like. So I do think that there are some people that are projecting on you, and they're trying to use your tendency to stay quiet against you. And if it's not that they're trying to use it against you, they're trying to take advantage of it they're trying to capitalize on it. You see so much, and you see right through this. And because you're seeing through all of these attempts, I feel that these projectiles are more or less bouncing off of you. I think that similar to Aries, your mind is made up. You're too smart for these kinds of games, and you have worked on your self-esteem to the point that words don't hurt you like they used to. And that is a very, very powerful developmental change for a Virgo to make. Because when a Virgo knows their worth, everybody else just pales in comparison. And it's so beautiful because you don't seek to put other people down. You don't seek to in order for you to feel tall, others don't have to be on their knees. And you're dealing with people who can only feel tall when you are on your knees. No more. No more. You're not doing it. It's okay to go. This you know. Yeah. So opportunistic to get the things that they want, whatever it is that they will say whatever they feel is necessary. There are some bold statements here. Depart away from the superficialities. It's important that you break through the superficiality. There's some people here that are very, very shallow. Fake Love by Drake. Fake Love by Drake. Also All Falls Down, Kanye West. The prettiest people do the ugliest things. One more. Phenomenal. Bottom of the deck. The Devil. It's a little bit too much. VIRGO. Okay. One more. So many of you who watch this channel are, it's like you're getting your ducks in a row. You are finding yourselves once again, and you're getting ready to make some kind of transition or make some kind of move towards something greater. Something that works better for you, and I think it's so beautiful. All right, so let's talk about what's here before we start clarifying. I think everything is in frame. I could get this a little bit better. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. So, overall energy is the Eight of Cups. And as we said, you're leaving. You're leaving and you are not looking back. It's very, very cut and dry. I think that you're sharing a lot. And by that I mean you're not afraid to speak about your experience, and I think that's good. I think that's good because I think that as you the more you tell your version of the story, I think the more who you are shines through. And I think that's really important during this time because character, the content of your character, it can be so clean, it can be so pure, it can be filled with so much integrity that alone, the content of your character can be your defense. Now, I think that it's not about the money. And I think that in some areas, it's not about the money, it's about the principle. It's not about the amount of pleasure that you get from it. It's not about the carnality. It's not about how good it feels. None of it will be worth it. None of it will feel worth it if you feel as though it's fundamentally wrong. So I think that anything that you once loved, that you once had some kind of infatuation for, it doesn't matter what it is, something that you held close, you find yourself poised to throw it all away. Everything must go. And I don't think that you really care how people feel about it, especially if it's a water sign. If you are dealing with a water sign, a Cancer in particular, this person is pissed. And I don't think it's about you. I think that it's about them. I think it's about them, and I think that this is reading as disappointment in their own performance, disappointment about their own lack of capability. And if it's not any one sign, then there's some person here who is very cold. This is someone who has the ability to flatter you and tell you all of these really, really sweet things, all of these nice things, tell you exactly what you need to hear to get whatever they want from you. And the moment they can't get whatever they want from you, or things aren't going the way that they expected it to, they make you the enemy, they make you the problem. It's like they're opportunistic in that way. And this is how something that was once sacred, something that was once beautiful, something that once had a lot of potential, gets marred, tainted. You've lost interest. You've lost interest, and I think that at this point you don't really I think that you're relieved to really know how you feel about it. You're relieved to have your mind made up. For some of you, it's like you're difficult to please, and it's because you have high standards, not because you can't be pleased. It's because there are just some things that you're unwilling to tolerate. There are some things that you're unwilling to expect. I meant to say accept, but expect also fits here. So let's talk about that for a moment. Are there situations that you're allowing to go on for longer than it's reasonable to allow them to go on? Or are there directives, are there perspectives that you are making excuses for? And maybe that's why it's gotten to this boiling point, right? Where you're fed up and you're dropping it all. The two oracles that came out here are they're very combative. One of them is defense. This is Mars in Taurus. And the other one is rebellion. This is Mars in Aquarius. So the energy is very, very confrontational. And I think that when a Virgo wants to leave, there are always going to be those people who don't want you to. In so many ways, their lives will not be the same. In so many ways, your absence, it will fuck up their vision. But you are on a mission. You have a purpose here. And that is to go where you're wanted. That is to go where you're valued. That is to go where you're appreciated. And the more comfortable you get with that mindset, the more comfortable you get with your purpose, the more you remember it. It's like the more of yourself you find along the way. I don't sense hesitation in your energy. I think that you know. I think that you know, and I think that you don't care. And I think that's good. I'm so proud of you guys, really. And I'm not saying that, I don't mean that in a patronizing way. It's just, I'm so, like, this is beautiful. This screams self-worth. This screams self-care. This screams, I can do bad all by myself. You don't need anyone. You're not afraid of being alone, but it's not just about being alone, it's about succeeding alone. You've done it once before, and I have no doubt that you can do it again. That one doesn't want to shuffle back in. Let's get one more. Yeah, that's perfect. Just want one more. Okay. So the first one is, what are your values? That's the question, isn't it? That's what it's about. It's about the principle. It's about the principle, and it's about your sense of direction. It's about right and wrong. And the next one that came out is there anything in your life that you've been managing that really needs to just be resolved. This echoes what we were talking about a moment ago when we were speaking about those excuses that we make, or not necessarily excuses, but the way that people rationalize or tend to rationalize their behavior, or the tendency that you used to have to rationalize a situation that is not good for you, perhaps because of a sense of duty. But as we said, those boundaries are up, those lines are being drawn, and I think that you're thinking very seriously about this particular question. There is something that you have been upholding, there is something that you are the foundation of, that you just really like to see resolved, that you just really like to be over with. Now, I feel like we have a pretty good handle on what's happening here with you energetically. Now, let's see if we can start clarifying to get some more insight and maybe get some advice. Your mind is made up, so I don't think that you really need advice. I think that at this point, this is just cathartic. Like, it's good to talk about. So let's talk about the Eight of Cups, and we've talked enough about what you're moving on from. Let's talk about what you're moving towards with that Eight of Cups going into the Nine of Cups. We got the 10 of Cups coming out. That's incredible. So anything that you walk away from, you're meant to walk away from it. You're walking into something greater. You're walking into something better for you. Bottom of the deck, we have the Temperance card. Even more phenomenal. This is I don't think that you're making any quick decisions here. You're certainly thinking things through. I think that you have your decisions are backed by reason. They're backed by a very ironclad thought process. I think that I feel like you guys have evidence. I feel like you have examples. The Lovers comes out again, and the Page of Pentacles comes out in reverse. You have evidence on things, about things that have transpired, that maybe have been hidden, things that you've been holding back. It's like there are some cards that you've had that you have just been you've been keeping them really close to the chest. And I think that around this time you're playing those cards, and boy, are you playing them right. Let's talk about the Five of Pentacles next. Five of Pentacles clarified by the Three of Wands. If your money situation is a bit sketchy, I think I see that getting better for you. Eight of Pentacles. Just keep your head down and keep working. Just keep working. If you do so, if you build it, they will come. Seven of Swords coming out next. Those of you, or for many of you, there is something that you have built here. Your presence has been so fundamental to the sustaining of something. And I do think that there are a few who wish to control you. There are a few who wish to control there's something here about recognition, or what they're willing to allow you to have. It's like they want you to have it in doses. They want you to have it at certain times. And that is bullshit. If you work for something, you know, then and you deserve something, if you have earned something, then it should be given to you, should it not? But it should be given to you for the right reasons. It should be given to you, Nine of Pentacles, because you deserve it. Let's take a look at the Queen of Cups in reverse next. Queen of Cups in reverse clarified by the Two of Cups. Anyone who's telling you that you aren't the shit, anyone who's telling you that that they don't really like you after you've seen their actions, after you've seen the way that they rely on you, after you've seen the way that they look at you, they're lying. They're lying. Especially if this person has Gemini placements. Coming out next, we got the Wheel, this is the Wheel of Fortune. And it flew out right on that Gemini. I think that you were meant to interact with these people. You were meant to be in their lives as a way in which they would learn to elevate, as a way in which they would learn to evolve. And I know that's exhausting, because I feel like you guys are, or you may feel as though you're always helping people get better. You're always making people better, and then they leave you. But it's just like at this point in time, you're the one that's leaving. And you're doing so for your own good. You're doing so for peace. Let's take a look at the Six of Cups next. Six of Cups clarified by the Devil card. You're doing so for your own peace. I'm also getting shout at the devil. Also call it out. Ace of Cups. Why is the Ace of Cups here? Two of Pentacles. If you're wondering if a new job or business opportunity can work out, it can. It can, and I'm also getting that it will. Six of Wands, yeah, it will. You will be victorious. Let's take a look at the Five of Swords and the Two of Cups. Clarifying that we have the Hierophant. Yeah. This is, in fact, fake love disguised as something real. You thought they cared. Judgment card. But they only cared as much as it would benefit them. Let them go. You know. You know. Ten of Pentacles in reverse, Eight of Swords, you know. I think that there may be a bit of fear about just how much you're walking away from. And it's okay to be scared. You know, it's always a bit daunting, a bit challenging to step out of your comfort zone. Or to put yourself in a potentially compromising position by walking away from any kind of stability, which I know that you guys, that's really important to you. Walking away from any kind of security, walking away from steady pay, whatever it could be, to pursue something different. Let's go into the Fool card next. So I'm pretty sure we got the Emperor card coming out in reverse and the Temperance card coming out as well. This looks like a better boss. This looks like a new boss. This looks like a new chance, a new business opportunity, something different. And I think you need that. I think you want that. I'll read all these, but let me get all of them first. We got July, the letters G, H, and I, East, Sagittarius, Infatuation, Aries, 6, Haters, we called that, number 9, the number 5, this could be about your 9 to 5, Intimidation, Capricorn, no, let's just kiss and say goodbye, we called that as well. Talk about a perfect ending to that, to sum it all up quite nicely for us. If you had a question, the answer is no. If you guys are looking for more content, the link to the Way Out podcast, the links I should say, will be in the description box. It's available on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Be sure to check it out. Show some love. I hope that you enjoyed this. Thanks so much for coming through. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.